yeah, today we're gonna do a taco mukbang. I originally started with African food because I really wanted to do an African food mukbang. It consisted of fufu and egusi. So this is fufu, and egusi is a soup that's made with like fish and chicken and some other stuff. I started the video and then I was like, let me tell y'all what the recipe is, like what's inside this, because I knew y'all was gonna be curious. But I went on Google. It said that it contains shrimp. I'm allergic to shrimp, so I had to cut the video right then and there. I had to call the restaurant, ask the restaurant what was inside the food. The lady said it only has shrimp powder. Instead of taking a risk, I just said, let me just dead the egusi and fufu and let me just go get me something else to eat. So this is just the, I guess, plan B food that I had to turn to. The food is from Taquera La Plata de Jalisco. It is on Farm to Market Road, 1960 if you live in Houston, Texas. I had their food before, it was good. Oh, I also have a little margarita on deck, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm just playing. Yeah, I got a little margarita on deck, and I decided to give the restaurant a chance again. I ordered DoorDash with them the first time, and I had some fish, and it just had too many bones in it. And I'd be paranoid and think I'm eating the bone and all that. So I said, let me just do away with that. Or let me just get some plain old tacos. So I got some collard beans or something like that. Somebody, if y'all eat them, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. But they have sausage in them. It's so good. Way better than black beans. I have 3 tacos, and then I have a side of rice. I am standing up. I do have a table, so don't try me. But I'm standing up because I feel like standing up, and that's what I'm gonna do because it's my house and I'm gonna do what I want to do. But yeah. So rice and beans. I'm not putting it on a. I'm gonna put it on the plate. So I wasn't gonna use a plate, but I feel like it's more. You know, y'all should see the food, and I probably should have did this before I started, but this is how you gonna get it anyway, so why would I put it on the plate? Because this is how you gonna get it when you get home. But yeah. So I'm not gonna pour the beans on there. I'm just gonna put it on the plate. I don't know, I don't want it on my beans. I don't want it on my rice right now, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. And then my tacos. And I asked her for flour tortillas and she gave me corn, but I'm just gonna let it slide. While I got you guys here, I'm not gonna keep y'all long. I'm gonna eat this with a good spoon. So yeah, real spoon. But if you over 21, have a drink with me. Let's sit down and let's chat. So I guess if I'm gonna let y'all in my life, I have to kind of start from square one. So I don't know what oh, excuse me. I don't know where they get these beans from or what they do to these beans, but baby, they be seasoned to perfection. But yeah, so I feel like if I'm gonna let y'all in my life, I kind of gotta like fill y'all in on certain things about who I am for those who don't know me. But I did want to talk about how I ended up moving to Houston, Texas. So a lot of people think just because it's cheap, that's why people moving down here. And you need to come down here because the apartments and the club scene or the lounges, whatever. I'm not here for that. I didn't come here for that, and I was not supposed to be here at all. Initially, what brought me here was because when I was living in Tampa, I had a little job, a little gig that I was doing after I left Walmart. And at the little gig, it was just some bull. Like, I felt like, you know how you have, as a African American person, you can hang around or be around a lot of Caucasian people, and it can sometimes feel like on a job that there's a little racism. So in that job, I did feel like that. So I was like, I just can't do this. Like, I gotta go. I have to go. It's mentally draining. I cannot do it. And for the pay that I'm making, it's just like, why the fuck would I be here? Oh. Y'all gotta check them out. Yeah, I'm trying, but I'm like, well, I be here slaving my ass, busting my ass, and I don't feel like I'm being appreciated. So I ended up calling my daddy right before shift. I was supposed to go to work, and I'm like, look, I can't do it here. I hate it here. I'm ready to go. Whatever you gotta do to get me where you are, please. So he told me he had a job because my daddy's a traveling welder. I chased him to where he was, and at that time he was in Louisiana. So my girlfriend, because I'm in a relationship, I told her what I was feeling, how I was feeling, and at that time we were only together for 5 months. I told her I can't do Tampa no more, and I'm ready to go. And it was one of those things, you with me or you want to be here by yourself. So I ended up leaving, and she came right behind me because she already knew what it was and what time it was and when it was. So yeah, she came behind me. Thank you, baby. We ended up in Louisiana because that's where my dad was, and we had her little brother because he was in town for the weekend. We had finally got to Louisiana, and when we got to Louisiana, she was going the wrong direction. After we had just picked us up some dinner for the night, we went and got some Church's chicken. On our way to the hotel, like literally like 5 minutes away from the hotel, she just ended up passing it on accident. So she passed it, and we were in the left hand getting ready to make a turn and make a U-turn. But what she did was make a right. Instead, I guess the GPS was telling her to make a right. She cut through the last lane and veered off into the right lane. Long story short, we ended up getting pulled over. We went to jail that night. That was my first time ever going to jail. But I went to jail in Louisiana, Lafayette, Louisiana. I beat that case. But yeah, I went to jail there. And the next day, after that whole incident, I was able to get out of jail. And when I got out of jail, I went to see my dad, and I got out of jail. I'm just wasting stuff all today. I waste my goosey. I didn't tell y'all that. So yeah, I went to jail in Louisiana. And whenever I see my dad the next day, he basically said that he was not going to be in Louisiana and to go to Houston. So I went to Houston, and I fell in love. I fell in love. He was telling me that he was going to be working there instead. So I did all that because I called myself trying to surprise him. Didn't tell him I was coming until I was like almost there. And I just was really showing up. But he told me, go to Houston. And when I tell you, the scenery is so beautiful in Houston, as far as like downtown, certain areas like Bel Air. If you're from Houston, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Bel Air, Woodlands. I'm trying to think of what I can off of my head. But those areas that are like very high class, I fell in love with it, and I'm like, I gotta be here. So when I came here, I started a job, and when I started the job, I was able to make enough money to basically call this my home. And I made a lot of money in that job. Like, I made a lot of money. I made a lot of money in 3 weeks. So I took my money and was like, I'm gonna call this home. I like it here, it's cute. And anybody that knows Houston, I'm moving into Greensport. Because I didn't know nothing about the areas. I was really just going off of, oh, this is cute, this nice, oh, this cheap. And that's where I put up at. I messed up big time. I picked the house off of not even seeing it. But one thing about Houston, I love the people. The people are so friendly, like H-Town, it's going down. That's how I be in a club. But initially what really brought me to Houston is a job. Long story short, job. I came for work and I got stuck here. Or I fell in love with it. I'm not gonna say I got stuck here. So that's how I ended up in Houston. Not much of a big story, but I thought I would just let you guys know how I ended up here. Make sure you guys go check out my previous video that I just posted. More of those videos coming soon. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. See you soon. Bye.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a